Hello everyone and welcome to the weekly outlook review. Essentially what this is to compare all the potential trades that we could have had with our analysis and the strategy and take you forward to see what you could have done better and what you should be looking out for using this method and our analysis. So beginning with GBP USD, we can see we had that push to the downside and we was expecting this area to be tested in this zone. And if you notice here quite clearly, we have a double bottom here testing this zone that we mentioned. So ultimately we were waiting for a push to the upside. So we had tested the zone here, we had that push, but essentially this wasn't enough. We want to see a bit more of a bullish pressure. So this candle here is not necessarily a bad idea. You could have got into this candle here, or you could have entered after this because this was also a reversal pattern as well. But unfortunately it wasn't too much to be made here. At peak it was 85 pips to the upside, but unfortunately we had a rejection of this daily level at 1.3085, and hence that's why we had that huge downfall. But nonetheless there was a potential here to capture some pips. So it's all about how you handle and exit your method really, because that changes your profit and percentage win rate, etc. So same thing here, because there is a confluence with GBP USD and Euro USD, similar sort of things go about. So we were testing this reversal zone here. We had that huge push to the upside. You could have got entered here, and I do understand that if this was a potential. However, you would have got stopped out if you placed it just below here. But if you placed it below here, it would have been fine. But you did have the potential to gain about 30 pips here, but still a bit of a tricky trade here. But like I said, there's never 100% success in trading. That's what you got to understand. You have to manage your losses correctly as well. But in the hindsight for the whole week, we did have the struggled momentum to break above this level, 1.11587, and struggled to go any higher than close above this level, ultimately rejecting this in a very pressured way. We had that rejection of that level as well, so that would have been a potential to get a short in there at this level here, 1.11365. USD JPY, very slow movement, nothing too major. I think it was due to last week there was a big bull pressure and big bull run to the upside, and we were essentially looking to short USD JPY, especially after breaking very well on the daily uptrend. But now we're back into the daily uptrend, so we have to readjust everything, which we'll do for you on the weekly analysis video, get you prepared for that. So make sure you subscribe for obviously that. But yeah, we did have a potential buy here off this line here at 109.766. It was a potential daily level that we had. I did mention it as well, and we had a maximum move of 40 pips, but it's still running. So essentially, we just have to wait for next week to see if this will fly and hold for longer. Finally, with gold, like I said, there was not really too much here. There was just a bit of a phase here, a push to the downside to trap people who are selling, and then we had this huge bull, well not huge, but we basically broke a bit of a bullish trend, sorry, a bearish trend that we had going, and then we broke it. Essentially ended the week with a bit of a run to the upside and ultimately testing here. So in terms of potentially getting into a trade here, there was no necessary kind of obvious place to get in. I mean, if you was to take this trade here, noticing that it did just tap into this reversal area, and this would have been a form of bullish pressure, but obviously it's quite tricky to know that. But in hindsight, you could have technically taken this, as it did test this zone, and we did find that bullish pressure to the upside. So this is all that I mean in the strategy. Is nothing too complex about it. It's just understanding what's required, and that is, in this scenario, a test into this zone and a wick rejection followed by a direction move. So this is a momentum to the upside, so you would have taken a buy. If this was closed below, and we wouldn't have not taken this trade, because obviously we would be waiting for a potential short. But essentially we had that test, that this is clear that it's acting as support, and you could have taken this. So about 150 pips on that, but a very tricky trade to take, really. So that would conclude the week for the Outlook review. Hopefully it's this type of video's purpose is to kind of show you where you should kind of improve on this strategy, and like what to look for. Essentially, watching these types of videos over a few weeks as well, and doing it with your strategy as well, adds like a layer of confluence, only to these 4 pairs that we watch, but you can apply this method to all of the other pairs, major and minor pairs, and exotic pairs as well, including the commodity pairs as well. It's just how you essentially speculate the market, and you don't have to be too complex, but this method is a prime example of how simple trading should be, and matched up with the right guidance, and essentially what if there's another confluence behind it, it can give you the ease of execution of trading, which many people kind of struggle, which is a psychological thing, and it takes time to develop. But following our videos should help you master this strategy, and develop your own confidence in this strategy or any other one, really. So yeah, so just to wrap it up, if you do want to follow the channel, and if you are watching these videos daily, make sure you are subscribed, just to keep up with all of the other videos that we put out, and obviously for future content and analysis videos. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll get you those weekly analysis videos done for tomorrow, and stay posted. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next week.